So how many of you have given thought to all of these lower products, these products of lower vibration, these lower people? How many of you have really considered a world society without these folks? How many of you have considered the idea that harmony is very possible, but it requires something inside of you? Okay? All of those people that you deal with every day that we always talk about while we're devoted on this channel to exposing such people, the people that plague your days, mostly happens in the workplace. This is where they get to play that game of dangle, right? And all the things they do. Hey, great ones. Hello, great one. All of the things that they do, folks, that are hurting us. A couple of people talk about, you know, pain is only in your imagination. You know, the miseries of the world, the things that other people do to you, how you respond and deal with it, is just about that. And it is on some level when I talk about that building thing, that inner soul thing, that thing you need to lift up so you can move on into higher vibration, folks, which is the most important thing. Many of you, those of you who are lost, who live in this material reality and think this is all that there is, you enjoy the bullshit creature comforts of such things, and you participate in the daily fuckeries of other people, right? And you win for the day, so to speak. You win the battle for the day, and you believe that all is well on the home front or something. This is how the average person reasons, not realizing that, you know, there will come a day that there will be a reckoning for all of the things that you have put out. That energy has to come back, folks. So these people who do these things to you every day and hurt you, the murderers of our society, the people who steal from us, the people who are consistently scheming, who are consistently looking to devour or hurt people, kill, steal, and destroy us, right? Now y'all know the moniker. I mean, y'all know that who that applies to. So these are all advocates of such an energy, folks. The lower energies. The things that will be done away with in the upcoming future, folks. So that person who's overtly and aggressively hostile because of their lower vibration, their lower energy, the thing that disturbing thing in their consciousness that makes them different from you and I. Because we can reason, folks. We don't know everyone. I don't like everyone. I don't like everyone's smell. I don't like the way, you know, I don't like all types of food. There are different things about us as humans in this society. But on a fundamental level, folks, on a conscious level, you know, under the thumb of the Most High, folks, we are all one. The lower vibrated people will never grab this concept. They will not appreciate it no matter how many facts are presented to them or thrown in their face, because they are the opposing force, folks. This is how you wake up. This is how you realize who you are relative to this bigger fight that I'm talking about. So join me. If you don't understand what I'm talking about and you don't care to understand, what do you care for? I ask. Fairly. Some bullshit on TV, right? The latest pair of this or that, or the newest car or something. Not realizing that all of those material things, folks, are being provided to you. The very atoms that compose those things and hold them together in vibratory nature for you to touch and experience, those things are being provided to you, folks. When you reason with that, because I say this every video, but it's for that purpose, to get you to retain this idea. When you reason with that idea, folks, you know, that's when things start happening, folks, for the better. So this person, you know, if we reference that DSM-5 manual, right, we would find that this person is what we would call a narcopath in your technical term. A narcopath, you know, who has checks off several boxes in that, you know, when they're trying to categorize this person, this lower energy person I'm talking about. This person has a lot of those self-serving characteristics, those overtly narcissistic traits. Narcopaths. And they're hell-bent on doing things to you. I told you about the overt natures. And it plays out in different ways. If I come to your home and I steal something from you, I take money, or I infest your home, or do something that could be very harmful to you. That is what a narcopath is, folks. In some cases, these people murder, right? All of the things I've seen in the world reports over the last week, the craziness, showing me that the reasoning of the average person is just completely off. The vibratory nature of the average human is in the tank on such a level that the reset is very imminent, folks. It's not a game, in case you didn't understand this. This is real life. This is real deal. This is about your salvation, folks. You don't want the Most High because you want things that are nothing. You want things that you think will provide you with that bigger feeling, right? You're searching for something. Love is oneness, folks. But you're trying to get it by means of exploitation and all types of things you're doing. The evils of society. The narcopath is that person. I can recall, you know, as a youngster, you know, having those first apartments and stuff. I had a townhouse and stuff, and I worked hard to keep that place. And I remember getting this car and stuff. And back then, you know, this was back at the time when you went to a club, people actually danced at the club. You know, they didn't just kill each other and stuff. You know, nowadays, when you think about a club, people are getting shot. Stuff is happening every day. And we see this. But back then, it was more for the purpose of relaxing, an atmosphere, people getting together, hanging out. And, you know, these young guys like us, we would do this competition thing, and we would compete in. You know, we would have these little race cars and stuff. And, you know, some guys had the little souped up mag wheel cars. Some guys had, hey, how you doing? All right. Some guys would have the little, you know, old timers cars. You know, on these weekends, they come do these car shows and stuff. There was a lot of that stuff going on. You know, but us youngsters, you know, we had to have the latest, you know, I guess rims at the time or something, and stereo systems, and we were all competing. And it was very trivial thinking. It was very, you know, silly for us to be like that. But we were just kids. And I've learned a lot in my life at this point in my life, folks. So I've come a long way when I really look back on the shallow nature that I myself, which is why I never judge you guys on that level. I'm only pointing out what you really are. If you're stupid, you are stupid. When you fail to swallow that pill of your stupidity and reckon with that, right? That's where you keep creating problems for yourselves in society. And you always want to solve these problems by means of some external bullshit, a bandage, versus all looking in yourselves. All of you have this lower vibrated nature that you want to hold on to, right? Narcopaths. Overtly crazy people. I've been victimized on many levels, folks. I've had people spit on food of mine. I've had, you know, people try to infest my home. I've had people harass me on the street. I've had people do all types of things. You know, but I'm showing you that I'm able to reason my mind about what someone's doing to me and understand that they are the problem, folks. Too many of us try to pretend, and like I said before earlier with this pain thing, we try to act like we can't express pain, or we're less than for feeling the pain that someone is dealing to us, right? We try to take jabs at good and what being good is, right? And we say there are too many goody two-shoes. But guess what, folks? In reality, that's some bullshit. That's just a line. There are not enough good people. If there were, there would be no reason for the reset, folks. You understand what I'm saying to you? You are definitely not vibrating on a heavenly capacity, folks. Not. So every day, you narcopaths do the things you do to the service of the people. People are in danger. There was some news report. Somebody went up in the store and cut someone's throat because they felt a certain way. You see what I'm saying? You're feeling a certain way. You're hurting. That lower energy in you is the bigger fight, folks. We can play a game in society and drive cars and do things to each other and take away from each other with material, but this stuff is bullshit. It's all illusionary. I know this is a fact, folks. So what am I looking at when I'm looking at all of this misery and dysfunction? I'm looking at lower vibrated nature of a person. And I've realized that if it lies in that person in consciousness, then if everyone in consciousness is vibrating on this lower nature, then there's something has to be done about this. And I get this. This is what I'm learning every day, folks. I'm trying to educate the people who may want to be enlightened, who reason me as an alarm clock of sorts, waking them up, helping them. But I know I'm all over the place, but like I said, y'all come to like this thing about me, I guess. But we had I had a nice car and I had an apartment and stuff. Going back to the beginning what I was talking about. And and I kept my stuff nice. I worked hard. I had little bullshit jobs and stuff, but I worked really hard, folks. And I honestly made my money and appreciated what I had. I've always been this person. But we had a couple of people on the end of us. We lived in these little units and stuff, and on the end unit you had a couple of guys that they weren't in school or something. I think one of them was living used to come over or something to the other guy's house, used to live over with their parents or something. And they pretty much didn't have a job. They would come to our little get-togethers and stuff. We had little cookouts and stuff. And they would do little things like that. But they were always envious. When you're envious and jealous, folks, there's something you feel that you lack. When you hold on to the Most High, you are always in abundance. Your spirit is always in abundance. You always appreciate things. You always know that you will gain things, folks. It's not about taking from someone else. This is the sickness that I'm trying to get you to focus on today. Are you a narcopath? Right? How many of you have, you may not consider yourselves narcopaths because you may not have done violent things to other people, but a narcopath exists in the intent, folks. What I want you to understand is that, in your reasoning, you guys try to calibrate actions. You jack somebody up, you punch them in the face, you rob them or something, you do something overtly hostile, and you compare that to maybe stealing something from their trust fund or doing something like that, and you say that that's a lesser thing. You reason it. But the intention is all the same, folks. This is the vibrated level that you guys have put yourselves on in current. And no, I understand that it's not going to get any better at this point because there's too much ego involved. There's too much ambition involved. But, at these apartment complexes, they had these guys on the end. And one of the guys, make a long story short, because I know I'll forget. I'm going all over the place with this. But I recall, I had a nice car and, I kept it clean and stuff. And, I didn't bother this person. But I remember this guy asked me for some money one day. And I had saw this guy maybe a couple of years. They come to a few of the cookouts or something. Never really said much to me, right? Knew him only in passing. But this guy came and I guess maybe he was checking out the car or something. So he figured, this guy's working somewhere. We're young and stuff, and he asked me for some money. And I turned him down about that. I didn't give him any money. So that upset this guy. And I'm trying to show you, these were my first experiences, folks, on that level where I started seeing this narcopathic behavior, where people were willing to overtly step out and show you, take their mask off right before you and overtly assault you or do something. I told you I've been assaulted in situations, you know. And so this person, you know, I came back maybe the next day to go somewhere, and I noticed that there was someone had taken something and put like a big dent in the side of my door panel on my car. And where I parked at, there were no other parking spaces on that side, so it was obviously someone walking up to the car and doing it. And I reasoned that it may have been the guy, right? And so my thing is that, you know, a lot of these people, folks, will create a situation, because narcissists are those people who bring that water hose for the fire that they set or they start in your house. But these people will create a situation and then blame you for whatever outcome if it affects them on some level, because they're crazy, folks. The problem I'm having is that in that situation, I had to get my car repaired, and it cost a couple of $100 to get that ping out, get it polished up and stuff. And that set me back. At the time, I didn't have much money. I was working hard, folks, saving up to do this stuff. But you have those people who will try to take and disservice you at the first opportunity. The narcopath. The people who will murder and rape you at the first opportunity. Do you get what I'm saying, folks? See, these are the people that you're not concerned with. You watch them on the news, you hear about this stuff on the news every day, and for maybe a few minutes or that time, you'll lock your doors that night or something, but you forget about it, right? Because see, deep in the deep in you guys, some of you people can reason with this insanity. That's why you allow it. I'm trying to explain to you. If you're not sick like me, then what are you doing as far as with concerns towards the narcopath? Are you assisting this process of the narcopath? Are you one of these people in society who are enabling these fucking crazies? The people who are enabling your bosses to be crazy, play with people's wages, fire people, ostracize, play the games that they do every single day in workplaces across the world society, folks. Every country, every language, right? There is no barrier when you're talking about demonic lower energy, folks, because that is the bigger fight, okay? So narcissism is a thing that many of us just want to discuss as a subject. You enjoy the fodder or back and forth of the finer points of what makes a person this or classifies a person that and all of that bullshit, when all of it is lower energy. On a bigger level, it's all lower energy, folks. The bigger fight is always about taking down lower energy. Now, ultimately, this is all in the hands of the great Most High. All praises Most High. Thank you, God. You are God. Okay? And I talk about God because God is my everything, folks. And He's your everything. But I don't want to get caught up in the politics of what you've learned in your literature and stuff like that, because I've thrown all of those things out. You are the literature, folks. When you're in the company of the great ones on a daily basis, you are the literature, folks. And your reasoning and everything you do in life is in service, because you know that greater things are always in service to the Most High. And that is your example. Narcopaths are self-serving, so what are they? They're an opposing force is what they present. When the reckoning comes, who is God dealing with, folks? He's dealing with the lower energies, folks, that have taken you over, that you are. Right? So we want to be more, we want to be hyper vigilant at this point about seeing these people, calling them out whenever we encounter them, not letting them do what they do to us, not letting them say whatever they want, not letting them gaslight and smoke screen us and make us believe that we're crazy. On these levels, folks, there will never be a time where I can be gaslit by any man. Man is a fucking fool, folks. And I have been shown on the greatest levels possible, folks. Fact. So yeah, this is not just something for sensationalism. This is not just something to talk about to get you thinking about that murder you heard and it was so gruesome and ooh and ah and all of this. But you look at it in all of your horror flicks. You're so desensitized to this shit. See, you see what I'm trying to explain to you folks? You've been spoon-fed all of this energy, this lower energy, and now you are it. You are products, right, of lower energy like I started in the beginning, the narcopaths. Oh, I love bad behavior, folks. But hypervigilance is doing things to make sure, and I love these things, what I'm saying. Doing things to make sure that narc doesn't get one up over you. Because why the fuck should we let them get one up over on us? If we're holding on to the Most High, He is the supreme, folks. He will crush all things, folks, who will try to oppose Him. If you're holding on to Him, then you know you're doing the right thing. It's really that simple, folks. But I think selfishness, I think many of you are just enjoying something too much. And all I want and ask of you is on that last time when the reckoning comes, be strong enough to face God and everything that you stood for on every day of your illusionary life that you thought was not Him. When you stand before Him, I want you to be man or woman enough to tell Him that you were this or that, and uphold your lower energies and all of your demonic foolishness. So when you're cast, you're man enough to deal with the cast. Because right now, you feel like you can deal with such a thing. I figured this out. I've talked to enough people to realize you guys are reasoning where you feel somehow you can deal in hellish worlds. Because you're fucking foes. Seriously. So you'll get what you request at some point. It'll come for you. And I wish you the best. Okay? Remember, quicksand is a very dangerous thing. You folks going over to my website, thinkbehavior.info, pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior, because I do, but under all of these circumstances and stuff and the way people get hurt, I don't. But just to pose it for you to think about your behavior. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the new subscriptions. Thank you, folks. Right? And slowly but surely, you guys are waking up. I'm appreciating all of these highly vibrated people. I know who you are. Right? And you do have a purpose. We're waking up. You folks have a great one. Y'all take care.